So my friend just told me that he got screened for pancreatic cancer, except he didn't tell me before I was in the middle of a really good story. So I was more pissed off that he ruined my story with his life that may or may not end, rather than tell me later. Okay. I've had a weird life. I've had a really weird life. I've had a weird life spiritually because my parents used to take me to church, and then, you know, like, they didn't want to fucking deal with me afterwards, so they just throw me into the child ministry, which, if you don't know, child ministry is really just ping pong tables and pool, so they're trying to, like, pull you in. And the thing I hated the most was that they all came out, they were all like, oh yeah, like they were hopped up on Jesus, but what they really came off as is speed addicts who just settled for far less than speed. You know, like they chopped up cocaine with Jesus' ashes and then snorted it before they went on stage. And then the worst thing is, the guy tried to sell God to me. You know, he's sitting you down one-on-one, he's like, God is all-powerful. He knows everything. He knows what you're going to do and say before you actually do or say it. And I said, really? Then where was God when I was fighting with my dad? Don't you think you might want to pop down and go, Nick, I know that this argument's getting really heated and you have that thing in your back pocket about how your dad loves to be overseas instead of being at home, which, by the way, it would bring up great memories for him. But you have to put in account, he's had 6 tall boys since he got home an hour ago, so all it's going to do is piss him off even more. You should wait until, like, he slams another 6 down and then he won't remember what you said. And I was like, no, God wasn't there. So I said it, and then my dad said, oh, you want to go? You want to fucking go? I'm like, yeah, sure, because nothing drives up property value like 2 meth labs on the street and bare knuckle boxing between dad and son in the front lawn. I mean, it's it's so fucking stupid. Needless to say, I was never invited back to the child ministry. Of course, my mom got really mad. She pulled me aside and go, if you didn't want to be there, just tell them you're Scientologists. Or Mormon. Whichever works better. Yeah. I've also had a weird life sexually. Like, like I'm a 19-year-old virgin, which is sadder more than it is funny. And the thing is, like, you have to put into perspective, most of my life when I was younger was sitting on the couch watching BET, eating Lay's potato chips. It was fucked up. I didn't even know I was attracted to girls until I masturbated to something other than porn and professional celebrity photo shoots. And so the best example was this, is that I used to hang out with my friend back when he was fun. And we'd go to his house and we couldn't start drinking till like 10 because his dad worked at UPS, would come home for his break. And so we were stone sober sitting on the couch, we see his dad's headlights pull in, and they were like, you know what we should do? Brain them. And those of you who don't know what braining is, it's where you take your testicles and you squeeze them to make them look like a brain, and then if the person looks at it, you have to kick them in the ass because apparently they're the fag. And so we all go, we should all brain them. We're like, perfect idea. Nothing wrong with that. And then we get up, we start presenting, and then one of my friends is like, okay, we should drop our drawers. That way, like, nothing but the brain. We're like, amazing idea again. Fuck, we're Einstein up here. And then my best friend Trent, who was a fucking genius, took off his shirt and started like swinging it around his head like he was at a rap concert in North Carolina. And then his dad walks in, takes one look down the line and goes, queers, and then grabs a beer. And the weird thing about that, other than 4 17-year-olds and a 21-year-old showing their genitalia to the best friend's dad, is that no one thought it was gay. We all thought it was natural. Like, no one stopped and went, okay, you know what? The only thing that would have made it weird is there was a guy in the corner filming it with one hand. Okay, the people who know masturbating knows that joke. Alright, thanks.
Give it up for Nick Fuller, ladies and gentlemen. His comedy album,